Have it. Clerk.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal Psychiatric Hospital, Makurdi, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Institutions. The 10th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7, 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act number 6, 2017 and enact the National Gaming Bill to regulate the operations and business of gaming in Nigeria and enhance revenue generation for the government of the Federation to complement the funding gap of the Commission and for related matters, signed in the name of Honorable Akin Alabi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 25th March 2021, and I invite Honorable Alabi to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Akin Alabi. I represent the good people of Egbeda on our federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from your state. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act 2017 and enact the National Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of gaming in Nigeria and enhance revenue generation for the government of the Federation. I so move that it be read the second time, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Nasir, please second.
Very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Nasir Ali Ahmed. I represent Nasara Federal Constituency, and I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. One second. Let's finish with this. Clerk, please read the long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to repeal the National Lottery Act number 7, 2005 and the National Lottery Amendment Act number 6, 2017 and enact the National Gaming Bill to regulate the operation and business of gaming in Nigeria and enhance revenue generation for the government of the Federation to complement the funding gap of the Commission and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Government Affairs. Yeah, point of order. Honorable Wheeler.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my very honorable colleagues. My name is Mark Tese Gwila. I represent Gwe East, Gwe West Federal Constituency of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, my point of order is on Order 6, Rule 1 and 2, Matter of Privilege, and Order 18, Rule 3G. Mr. Speaker, my point of order is based on a motion. By the grace of God, I had the privilege as a member of this honorable house to raise regarding questions of the legality of the CBN's ability to freeze accounts of Nigerian citizens, an issue that affected members of my constituency and me personally, and teeming, hapless Nigerians, some of who have lost their lives. I raised this matter on the floor on Tuesday, the 20th of October, 2020, and this issue was referred appropriately to the relevant committee and the motion gazetted, HR 59, 2020. But Mr. Speaker, you can see clearly from the rules, Order 18, Rule 3G, and I read, if you permit me.
What page are you reading from?
Let me look at the page, Mr. Speaker. Order 18 is on page 103. Starts from page 103. And Rule 3G specifically, Mr. Speaker, if I may read, it says, and this rule has to do with limitation as to the time of report. The rule says any matter referred to a committee shall be treated within 30 days, otherwise the committee shall stand discharged. Note, Mr. Speaker, sir, it says shall stand discharged after 60 days, except upon a motion for extension of time which shall not exceed 15 days, and the matter committed to the committee of the whole or any other committee as the Speaker may decide from time to time. Mr. Speaker, based on the date today, 29 June 2021, it is almost a year. So I believe those provisions of the rule have been breached, and I want to appeal to you, Mr. Speaker, concerning this issue. I have done my preliminary checks, and I have seen that there was no statute giving the CBN and the CBN governor any power to freeze accounts before 12th November 2020, when Mr. President assented to the new Bofia Act. And our provisions in our Constitution, Section 4, subsection 9, make it very clear that this House, the National Assembly, and any House of Assembly does not have the power whatsoever, that's the statement in that provision, to make any law with regards to any criminal offense that is a retrospective law, ex facto law. So I want to raise the importance of this issue and crave the leave of Mr. Speaker to reassign this matter to an ad hoc committee to look into. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I'm not sure about your assertion that the regulatory authority in banking does not have inherent powers to freeze an account. I don't know that that is necessarily a question of statute. But having said that, Honorable Wokolo, the rule has been cited correctly. I don't know what you have to say.
Honorable members, my name is Victor Wokolo. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to reply what you have said. Speaker, this matter is more than what can be said openly. It's a complicated matter. It's a matter that have taken me to EFCC 3 times. It's a matter that has been under investigation. It's a matter
that took you to EFCC?
Myself.
You?
In a way of finding solution to it.
Okay.
Half of the companies that their accounts were frozen, their accounts have been released, it has been freed. There were some issues. That's where we are. It's maybe we need to talk more off the camera or in executive section so that this matter can be very well understood and well brought before members. Thank you.
Yeah, Honorable Wokolo, but I think a report would have been in order to that effect, without even going into details. Because it's an assignment that was given to your committee, you should have tendered a report that this has been done, but this certain part of it, there are issues, and that would have sufficed, rather than us not even getting any report at all. I don't know what it would be. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Toby Okechukwu, representing an area of Woji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I just want to make a suggestion that the complaint has been raised by Honorable Billa is quite germane. But from also the narrative of the chairman, it is apparent that I have been doing something. I think we should give him a timeline within the next 1 week to submit an interim report to the parliament and then continue with the activities and come to a conclusion quickly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion, that you move for an extension, and maybe, in fact, without moving for an extension, let me just rule that in the next 2 weeks, without moving for an extension, in the next 2 weeks before we close on the 14th, can you please bring an interim report on the matter? Yeah. Hold on. Let him just, and then you give your part about it.
I remain Honorable Victor Wokolo. I do rise to move for extension of time for 2 weeks to submit an interim report on the subject matter. Thank you. I so move.
Yeah, there was even no need for that. We've already, I've already given directives, 2 weeks extension of time to bring an interim report.
Believe that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. With every due respect to you, Right Honorable Speaker, and this Honorable House, I think Honorable Nwokolo has to move for a suspension of our rules, because that rule very clearly, I believe, should be sacrosanct. It says they stand discharged. So I believe the procedure will be for him to suspend our rules to enable him seek for an extension. That is my point of order, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Now, an issue that was raised, okay.
If you look at the rules that you read, um, 106, page 106, so G, which you read, says any matter referred to a committee shall be treated within 30 days, otherwise the committee shall stand discharged after 60 days, except upon a motion for extension of time, which shall not exceed 15 days. So it does not provide, it presupposes that you have already suspended your rules. Otherwise, we would have said there that you suspend your rules. It just goes straight to extension of time. So, matter, and using my own discretion as well, the matter is extended for 14 days for you to bring a report as per the complaint of Honorable Billa. The 11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Ozurigbo. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 29 September 2020, and I invite Honorable Ozurigbo to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Gono Sirifo. I represent the good and hospitable people of Umkwere, Isu, Wangalanja, Bafet, constituency of Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I move that a bill for an act to amend the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and related matters be read the second time. I move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder. Pascal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my noble colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I am Honorable Dr. Pascal Chigozie Obi. I represent the very good and amiable people of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my brother and my colleague, Honorable Ugonna Ozuribo. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please read the long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and for related matters. Second reading.
Refer to the Committee on Commerce. The 12th order of the day is motion on need to assess the vehicle licensing process in Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Ben Ibakwa. Honorable Ibakwa is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Honorable Ben Ibakwa. I represent Ethiopia East, Ethiopia West, and by the special grace of God, we're from Delta State. Mr. Speaker, my motion is on the need to assess the vehicle licensing process in Nigeria. The House knows that the Federal Road Safety Corps, State Vehicle Inspection Officer, and the State Board of Internal Revenue are agencies responsible for vehicle licensing in Nigeria. Also know that it is a practice for a vehicle owner to present required data, make payment, and eventually issue vehicle license and license plate number by either of the agencies. Aware that driving articulated vehicles requires special skills and knowledge of traffic laws and regulation in force, but many drivers of articulated vehicles are not qualified to operate such vehicles as they are not licensed and lack skills to drive, thus resulting in fatal accidents. Also aware that in order to reduce the recurring rates of accidents, the federal government mandated the Federal Road Safety Commission to establish minimum safety requirements for articulated vehicles. Conscious of the responsibility of the Federal Road Safety Corps to include monitoring, certifying, registering, and enforcing compliance with regulations governing safety operations of articulated vehicles in Nigeria, cognizant that the administration of minimum safety requirement demands that operators of the articulated vehicle conform to the Road Transport Safety Standardization Scheme and registration of companies, that all tankers, tractors, trailers, or any other form of an articulated vehicle, including those conveying dangerous goods, are also required to comply with the guidelines on safe operations. Further aware that only Lagos State University, LASU, and the Nigeria Institute of Transport Technology, NITT, have accredited curriculum that will pass for the training of and certification of driving training team to train drivers of articulated vehicles. Disturbed that most tanker drivers are adolescents who can neither speak nor write English. Yet, when issued licenses, they endanger other road users contrary to the Federal Road Safety Code registration process, mandating tankers, tractors, trailers, transport service operators to register their transport companies with FRSC. Concerned that the proliferation of uncertified driving schools issuing drivers certificates to untrained drivers, resulting in producing inexperienced drivers, thereby causing accidents. Also cognizance of the fact that it is the responsibility of the Federal Road Safety Commission to have a driving school curriculum and qualify personnel for the purpose of monitoring, certifying, registering, and enforcing compliance with regulation governing safety operations of articulated vehicles in Nigeria. Believes that unless the vehicle licensing process as well as safety requirements and guidelines for articulated vehicle operations in Nigeria are rejigged with curriculum for drivers training school under the supervision of relevant transport institute, the incident of road accident by articulated trucks will continue unabated. The House hereby resolves, Mr. Speaker, 1, to urge the Federal Road Safety Code to compel tanker drivers, tractor and trailer transport service operators to disclose the type of vehicle, heavy-duty vehicle, business operations they are engaged in and register with FRSC. 2, also urge the Federal Road Safety Commission to stipulate stringent administrative procedures for tankers, trailers, operation in Nigeria for first-time articulated vehicle operators or applicants for Federal Road Safety Code registration. 3, further urge the Federal Road Safety Code, the Vehicle Inspection Officer, and related vehicle regulatory authorities to develop a comprehensive driving curriculum as in the Lagos State University, LASU, and Nigeria Institute of Transport Technology, NITT. 4, call on the Federal Ministry of Transport to establish the Nigeria Institute of Transport Technology, NITT, in the 6 geopolitical zones to ensure access to the institute and acquire the requisite knowledge and qualification before setting up driving school or manning articulated vehicles. And 5, Mr. Speaker, mandate the Committee on Road Safety to ensure compliance. I beg to move.
Any seconder? Honorable Zondu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Benjamin Ben Zondo. I speak for the people of Makudi Guma. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Ben Ibakpa. I so second. I also have an amendment. I don't know if I should continue, Right Honorable Speaker.
Sorry, was that seconding or amendment?
I was seconding and requesting your permission to also amend the motion.
Yeah, move your amendment.
Right Honorable Speaker, in his prayers, he directed that the matter be referred to the Committee on Road Safety. I also move to direct that he directs that it be referred to Committee on Land Transport, since NITT is a direct agency under the Committee on Land Transport. I so move.
So you are moving that it be referred to the joint committees?
Yes.
Honorable Gideon. Honorable Gideon, second. Are you seconding the amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Gideon Fitila Goroki, I rise to second the motion for the amendment. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of the amendment that the Committee on Land Transport be added to the Road Safety Committee, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The 13th order of the day is a motion on the need to curb online crimes and child exploitation in Nigeria. Standing in the name of Honorable Bamidele Salam, Honorable Bamidele Salam, Honorable Salam is invited to move the motion. I don't think Honorable Salam is here.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Salam, Bamidele Salam is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move.
Motion step down. 14th order of the day is a motion on incessant disregard of traffic lights in the Federal Capital Territory. Standing in the name of Honorable Yusuf Tajuddin. Honorable Tajuddin is invited to move the motion. Honorable Tajuddin here? Yeah.
Speaker, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. I'm TJ Yusuf. I represent the people of Kaba, Bono, Federal constituency from Kogi State. Incessant disregard of traffic lights in Federal Capital Territory. The House notes that the flagrant disregard and violation of traffic rules by private and commercial drivers has led to loss of lives and properties within the Abuja metropolis, causing physical, emotional, psychological, and economic dislocation to victims. Disturbed that, according to statistics by the Federal Road Safety Corps and other traffic management agencies, while some Abuja residents have lost their lives, others are thrown into physical disability, making the Federal Capital Territory one of the cities with the highest case of traffic light violation in Nigeria. Concerned that, according to statistics, the major culprits are being top government officials and influential personalities, thus making it very difficult for traffic management agencies to effect arrest and prosecution of this group of traffic offenders. Worried that due to the relation of duties by relevant agencies in the Federal Capital Territory, some of the traffic lights have either stopped working or malfunctioned, thereby contributing negatively to the alarming rate of road accidents. Resolved that, one, all the Federal Road Safety Corps and other relevant traffic management agencies to embark on regular, intensive, and strategic advocacy to educate vehicle drivers on the need to obey traffic lights and the various consequences of non-compliance. Two, also urge the Federal Capital Territory Administration to ensure that all traffic lights within the metropolis are working. Three, further urge the Federal Road Safety Corps and other traffic management agencies to ensure that offenders of traffic light violation, irrespective of status, are apprehended and prosecuted accordingly to serve as a deterrent to other vehicle drivers. Finally, mandate the Committee on Federal Capital Territory and Road Safety Commission to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Second. Honorable Gwagwa.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Sylvester Ogbaga. It's time to second the motion as ably moved by Honorable Tajuddin. I so second.
Okay, those in support, I think it's straightforward. Traffic light abuse. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Fifteenth order of the day is a motion on need to reinforce guidance and counseling in schools across the nation, standing in the name of Honorable Nsikak Ekong. Honorable Nsikak is invited to move the motion. I'm not sure, yeah.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ekong is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leader of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Step down. Motion step down. Honorable colleagues, I have an announcement from Honorable Daniel Asukwo, the announcement of the death of his mother and burial invitation. I think the announcement of that was made earlier, some time ago, but this is the burial invitation. Schedules are as follows. Friday, July 2nd, 2021, service of songs and night of tributes by 4 p.m. at Akampa LDC headquarters premises. And on Saturday, July 3rd, funeral service and interment by 11 a.m. at Akampa Local Government Council Field. The interment will be at number 2 Waterboard Road, opposite Akampa Local Government Headquarters, Akampa. Tributes, condolence letters, and goodwill messages are welcome. For more details, call 0805-421-9315. I crave the honor of your esteemed personal presence at the event to celebrate the great woman who gave me life. Signed, Honorable Daniel Asukwo. The 16th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Healthcare Services on a bill for an act to amend the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act to expand and bring the long title in conformity with the actual intendment of the bill, provide stiff punitive measures to checkmate violations and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 28th of April 2021. Honorable Sununu will move for its consideration.
Mr. Speaker and Siraki Awuri, my name is Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu. I represent Ingaski Shanghai Awuri Federal Constituency of Kebbi State. I rise to move a motion for the consideration of report of the Committee on Healthcare Services on a bill for an act to amend the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshot and to expand and bring the long title in conformity with the actual intendment of the bill. Provides stiff punitive measures to checkmate volunteer violators and for related matters, which has bill number 728. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Honorable Sada Soli, do you want to second that? Honorable Sada.
Yeah? Mr. Speaker.
No, I didn't ask you to approach the chair. Huh? No, I asked if you wanted to second. I'm giving you the option, actually. Do you want to second? Sorry, I want to hear that. What do you say?
No, you have to be honest.
No, he's being honest. Let him say what he wants. No, Honorable Lulu.
If the presiding officer asks you something, you are obliged to tell the truth.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I was not following the debate on the floor.
You were not following the debate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was Honorable Faleke following? Can you second, Honorable Faleke? Oh, you were not following either. Okay, what about the third of national interest? If you know what this issue was, the motion, you know it's of very serious national interest. Okay, Honorable Benson, do you want a second?
Interest with
You were discussing issues of national interest.
Honorable Faleke and Honorable Soli.
Honorable Sununu, do you want to second your motion? Do you want to second your motion? Nobody seems to have. Honorable Mongono, please second.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you for your forthrightness, Honorable
members,
Sada.
My name is Mohamed Tar Mongono. I represent Marke Mongono, Gaza Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the motion ably moved by Chairman Healthcare Services for consideration of the report on the treatment of gunshot victims.
Okay. I don't know if Honorable Sununu wants to touch on it for a minute, or you want to Honorable Adejare to, or you want to yield to Honorable Adejare, or you just put the question. Honorable Adejare, do you want to say a thing on this motion and then we put the question? Okay, it's for consideration, isn't it? Sorry, I was thinking something of national interest too. Supports, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. 17th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Defense and Army on the confirmation of appointment of the Chief of Army Staff. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 29 June 2021. Honorable Babajimi Benson will move for its consideration. Honorable Benson. Yeah, he's not following, so we step it down.
Honorable Babajimi Benson, I represent the good people of the Ikorodu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I humbly request that the report on the confirmation of the appointment of the Chief of Army Staff be considered. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Adejare, can you second, please? Honorable Adejare, please second.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for this opportunity. I still remain Honorable Dr. Samuel Babatunde Adejare. I represent the wonderful people of Agege Federal Constituency of Lagos State. Sir, I stand to second the motion as moved by Honorable Babajimi Benson. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Leader of the opposition, you are opposing? House Leader, please can you move that the House resolve into the Committee of the Whole to consider the reports? You are sitting next to Honorable Toby, who was just a minute ago.
Serious consultations, talks between myself and the DS is contemplating a very big story coming our way. So Toby is in safe hands. I wish you well.
What is he contemplating?
I will discuss that with you in camera, sir.
He's not ready to discuss it because he knows it's a lie.
Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, it's not yet for public consumption. I will approach you for...
Please don't, I hope it's not what I'm thinking.
Oh, for house? Yeah.
No, that would be a bit too much. That would be a bit too much.
We may not even, I'm sorry, we may not even have an opening for him.
Honorable Toby will be the last man standing.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I rise to move that the House do resolve to Committee of the Whole to consider report. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move. Thank you.
Honorable Toby, please, can you second? You can start practicing your move now, since they say it's come.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I second the motion as moved by the leader. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Of the whole. Honorable colleagues, please don't forget that the leadership will be meeting the PIB committee at 3 p.m. room 0.28 today. Thank you. Yes.
Respected colleagues, the bill to consider is for an act to amend the compulsory treatment and care for victims of Gunshots Act to expand and bring the long title in conformity with the actual intendment of the bill, provide stiff penalties, measures to checkmate violations and to for related matters. I now invite Honorable Yusuf Tonko Sununu to give the synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Speaker, I'm Honorable Dr. Yusuf Tanko Sununu. I represent Yahudi Shanga in Gaski Federal Constituency. I'm from Cape State. Mr. Speaker, the bill was referred to the committee for further legislative action, and the committee conducted a public hearing, and the report drafted and considered by the committee. The bill seeks to amend the Gunshot Act so as to provide for immediate care for victims of gunshot injury, and also to provide, address the issue of grievous body injury following use of other weapons like chemicals and whatever substance that can be used, especially that we have a lot of victims of acid attack, and also to provide penalty for such actions. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of the committee to present this report for the consideration of the whole House. Thank you.
Thank you. Clause 1. Clause 1, 2, 3. Four. That is what the amendment started with. Clause 4. 5. 5,
6,
7, 5 is page 2. Page 2.
6, 6,
7, 8, 8. What about the typographical error? That's what part of the work was supposed to be doing here. Report, no reports. 8. Carried as a. Thank you. 9. 9. 10. 12. 'Colleagues, are we okay with the amount of money set there as a fine? $100,000. It's too small. How do you stop criminality? Compared to 100,000 to 6 months imprisonment. So, Khalid, you want to stop criminality, and I think there should be stiffer penalty. It's the amount of money. If you are asking for 6 months, then the money. Yes, sir. 1 million. Something like that.
I think, Mr. Chairman, I think we are talking about life here. 1 million is too small. We should raise it to 2 million and increase the sentence to 6 months. $2 million is okay.
The typical example of what is happening, the banditry and the rest. They now go, if they have gun shows, they go to the hospital, and if they have convenience in terms of their arrangement, they will be treating themselves
and then getting there. When you get them, you are saying they just pay 100,000. Everybody fund that should be dealt with squarely, so that we'll be able to surmount some of these issues. We need to be a little bit stiffer as far as I'm concerned, certain things we are doing. Or somebody goes for honorable. You kill mercilessly. Six months, maybe. This is for hospitals that refuse to report. Because by reporting, we will be able to get some of the criminals or the criminal activity. Is to stem. It's the hospital. Yes, sir.
Sir, in the Police Act, there's a clause that said any hospital that refused to treat any person, any person with a gunshot that is level, that also should be closed. They refused. But this one, they will treat, the act said they should treat him and report.
In the hospital, maybe, you see, this is a special bill that has been done to address some of the lacunas that are found there.
Yes,
and that's why we need to put in a clause that will make it more stiffer for any doctor who is operating. If he knows that he's going to lose 1 million naira,
Sir,
for instance, it before him to do that and maybe go to jail for 6 months and then pay this amount of money.
Sir, can we make it that they should treat failure to report after treatment?
Treatment is there, here is compulsory. Even on in this bill,
So, sir,
it's
sir-
compulsory. We must save life.
Yes, sir, I meant 1 million and 6 months.
Thank you.
1 million and 6 months, sir. The chairman, sir.
Sorry, the chairman wants to.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, the provision is not only left to the hospital. Any person.
Yes. Because there are those who are treating them traditionally.
And then some may not be able to afford.
It's not about affording. It's about saving life, my brother. It's not about affording. You must tame criminality.
You should not keep information, that's it.
Thank you.
Don't keep the information.
By holding information, they are now abating the activity they are doing. Thank you. So he has moved for 1 million naira. Who is seconding? Babu Jimmy.
I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Koko. I still second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's it. 12 as amended. 12 as amended. $15. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I want, my name is Honorable Babangida Ibrahim. I'm representing Madam Fashi Kafur, Federal Constituency. I'm from Katsina State. Mr. Chairman, I want to refer us to clause number 7, new provision. Expenses incurred through service rendered shall be paid for after the emergency by the patient or his next of kin, NHIS, if he is insured, or through emergency component of BHCPF. BHCPF is not defined anywhere in this Act. So I want it to be defined under the interpretation.
It stands for Basic Health Care Provision Fund, as provided for by National Health Act 2014 in Section 11. So it's related money for an emergency. So
What
I wanted to include that as a source of fund.
What Honorable Babangida is asking you to put, like for instance, you have to put interpretation. This means so. This means so.
It means Basic Health Care Provision Fund.
But it's not in the act here.
Yes.
So to avoid somebody going to coin another meaning
Yes.
to what you have here. That's why he's asking for the
Yes,
interpretation.
we can insert it as under the definition of that as basic HCR provision fund.
Maybe when we go to the last, then this amendment will come of what the interpretation code has to be provided. Thank you. 14, 14, 15, 16. Has it taken care of what we have amended there? $16? Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Honorable Kalambena, and I represent Kwariwamoko Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. Mine is an amendment that has to do with this section 16 and the issue of this negligence of duty whereby death is, which causes death as a result of negligence. The punishment here for 1 million is not enough, should be increased, and that a terms for imprisonment be applied, because when you consider the value of human being, when somebody being responsible for the cause of a death of human being, when you ask for a payment of 1 million, I think it's not reasonable. So it should be considered, and in terms of imprisonment be imposed. Thank you.
So what is the amendment? You are now making comment.
5 million instead of 1 million. And that the person should be in imprisonment for 2 years.
This is where now we have to be a little bit realistic, because we are talking about police officers, for instance. For the duty, how much do you pay them per annum? That you now ask a police officer to pay 5 million. From where is he going to get the money?
Well, the police authority.
No, it's not about the police authority.
That is the IG.
It's about the individual now.
Well, if an officer commits an offense,
yes,
in this kind of a case,
what I thought it should include maybe a section for imprisonment alongside this fine. This fine is okay because considering the amount of money you are paying the officers.
The officer.
Thank you.
That is why I said the IG will be responsible for that.
No, IG cannot be held responsible. It can't be held responsible.
But 1 million is too meager.
No, I'm saying compared to.
I understand.
The earnings of the officer.
Yeah.
When you know that the welfare package is not commensurate to what they are asking.
Yeah. Agreed.
Thank you.
But still, we should consider the importance or the value of a human being.
We do consider. The person that is going there to also discharge his duty, we have had police officers now, for instance, that have been killed. I don't know what is the compensation act, as stipulated in the pension act. How much are they getting?
Well, even if
those that may die genuinely in the course of their own duty. Here you are now trying to protect the life of innocent persons and maybe criminals too.
But the issue here is the issue of negligence that caused the death of a person.
Yes. Yeah. 5 years. Thank you. If there's imprisonment, 5 years is commensurate to the earning of
5 years imprisonment?
Yes. Yes. It's okay. No,
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
It's Sada speaking, so I understand very well.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Just rider to the point he raised, and perhaps to the further clarification we have gotten from Honorable Babangida, I think 1 million naira is good enough. Possibly Ahmad was mistaking the fine as being a provision to be taken by way of compensation to the family of the late person, which is not the case. Even if you put 5 million naira, that 5 million naira is not for the benefit of the family of the deceased. I think you are being very sympathetic to the loss of life as far as his relations are concerned. This is money that will be paid as fine, and it has got nothing to do with the well-being of the survivors of the deceased person. Yes, it's about the deterrence, which I think 1 million naira is suffice. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'm looking at the citation, sir.
Citation?
Yes.
We're not yet there now.
You're not there yet, okay.
Clause 16. Got it? 17. 18. 18. Yes. 16. The observation.
Yes, sir. Why trying to be very concise with the citation? Since we have in somewhere we make definition of what weapons are, I am thinking if we add the citation to include this bill be cited as compulsory treatment and care of victims of gunshot and other weapons act, so that at a glance somebody will know, so that we don't limit ourselves to gunshots, but inside the main bill, there are other weapons that are described. Just my observation, sir. So that we just add gunshots and other weapons act.
Can you say gunshots are related matters? Gunshots are related matters.
It makes more sense, yes, sir.
Other related matters. Thank you. Seconder. Seconder. Yes. Leader.
And I am Kiru Kaonye George. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, in aligning myself with the observation, I don't know whether this is an omission. The original act is the compulsory treatment and care of victims of gunshot and other related matters. Because I sponsored this bill. And so I don't know whether it's from the secretariat that refrain is. Okay. But that's why I'm supporting that.
But for the fact that they have presented this way, and that's why the amendment now subsists.
So I support that the and other related matters act should be included.
Thank you.
Amendment.
Those
yes.
Say aye. Against say nay. That's a bit. Closer. (16) as amended. Thank you. Now the chairman. Yeah. Where you are bringing the interpretation clauses. Bring the amendment to say, include clause 16 or interpretation. What this means so, this means so that we have it officially registered. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I move to raise a motion for adding a clause for interpretation in the amendment bill, so that captures some definition that were omitted.
And that's what I'm saying. You now mentioned to us now the ones that are not mentioned, they are like.
Yes, the one that was mentioned was the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, BSCF, as captured in the National Health Act 2014. Which means National Basic Health Care Provision Fund. Yes.
Well, the secretariat will help you craft it well. NHIS, thank you.
National Health Insurance Scheme.
No, you work with the secretariat to clean the bill.
Okay.
Thank you. But we'll have an interpretation clause.
Okay.
Got it? Long title. The long title will also have to be amended to reflect the amendment that was done as amended. Thank you. Hmm? Respected colleagues, the report of concern is for the Committee of Defense and Army, and on the confirmation of appointment of the Chief of Army Staff, I invite Benjamin Benson to give the synopsis of the bill. The report, I suppose, not bill.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I remain Baba Jimmy Benson. I represent the good people of the Ikorodu Federal Constituency. Honorable Speaker, you may recollect that on the 8th of June, we received correspondence from Mr. President nominating Major General Farouk Yahya as the Chief of Army Staff of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, you may recall that on that same day, a committee was set up, headed by Chairman House Committee on Defense, my good self, that also included the Chairman Army and 17 other members. Mr. Speaker, the Chief of Army Staff came to the committee, was grilled on various topics which included insecurity pervading the length and breadth of Nigeria, interagency synergy, submission to civil authority, promotion of local content in military procurements, funding of the military, relationship with the Nigerian Parliament, and other sundry issues. Mr. Speaker, the nominee gave very apt answers to our questions, having been battle-tested as theater commander in the Lafia Dole command. That is locally. Internationally, he's fought battles in Sierra Leone and Liberia. Accordingly, Mr. Speaker, we recommend that the nominee be confirmed as a course. So I crave your indulgence to please approve our specific request. Thank you, sir.
Respected colleagues, the only recommendation is that Major General Farouk Yahya be confirmed as the Chief of Army Staff of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having successfully undergone the screening process of the committee. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, answer down on Rano. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I move that the House do revert to plenary and report progress. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I so move.
Yes, leader.
I second that the House moves back to plenary. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on the Committee on Healthcare Services on a bill for an act to amend the compulsory treatment and care for victims of gunshots act to expand and bring the long title in conformity with the actual intendment of the bill, provide strict penalties measures to checkmate violations and for little matters. Approve clauses 1 to 7, 8 as amended, 9 to 11, 12 as amended, 13 to 15, 16 citation as amended, 17 to 18 the long title as amended of the report accordingly. Colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Defense and Army on the confirmation and appointment of the Chief of Army Staff and approve the recommendation of the report accordingly. Leader, move for the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Okay. Sorry, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, I write to move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as read by the Speaker. I so move.
Seconder? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I hereby second the motion as moved by the leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Leader, move for the adjournment of the House to tomorrow, 11 a.m. Donald Ranu.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, the acting minority leader in person of Toby Okechuku. May Allah bless all of us and may the blessings of the leader fall on you as well. I write to move that this honorable house adjourns to tomorrow, the 30th day of June 2021 by 11 a.m. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Those in favor of the seconder, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I want to second the motion as moved by the leader, and having done our job today, believing that with the passage of the Chief of Army Staff, that Boko Haram will be technically and practically defeated this time. Thank you very much.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. House stand adjourned to tomorrow, 11 a.m.